Hello, everybody. Oh, here's my mic. I'll speak into the mic. Hi, everyone. How are you? I saw this. I love that. It isn't a smear campaign. I don't know who you are, but that's funny. Funny name. It could be used for a lot of people. Hey, everyone. I'm Patty Wilson. This is Patty's Playhouse, the late edition. This probably work out for the rest of my life to come in here at 9:30. I got a little work done. Did some editing of photos. Comments up here. I don't know if I like that or not. Have my banner. I feel like I should change the color of my banner. Hi, Debbie Gibby. Let's see. Hi, Tater. Ooh, first one up. Tater. Tater Bug. Hi, John Smith. Well, it looks like everybody beat you here. You didn't beat me. It's like, you beat me here. How are you? I'm so glad you guys come on here and chat first. That's so cool, to be honest. That's really cool. What was your last comment deleted on? Happy for Amy Adler, who's married with 2 children. I have absolutely no idea. It was before my time. Please press like and subscribe. So this is Patty's Playhouse, and again, I'm Patty Wilson. I'm a real estate agent who lives in Tallahassee, Florida. And we talk about crime, or we talk about random stuff, especially at 9:30 at night with my little bug eyes. We just talk. I interact with the chat and show video. And I know you've already seen it, most of you, but share with you Donna's. I get so tickled. I have notes. I guess I'll bring it up on Twitter. Donna Adelson's hearing. I'm sorry, but I just got so tickled by it. Luckily, one of the reporters gave me I forgot my laptop. So one of the reporters gave me her legal pad so I could cover my face because I was laughing. I was like, I'm going to get kicked out of here for sure. It was ridiculous. That's just my personal opinion. They paid for that. They paid for that. They paid for that. His claim to fame is he got Idaho moved. Idaho would have been moved without him, in my opinion. And Idaho, if you don't know, is Brian Kohlberger, who is currently being detained, praise the Lord, and is the alleged murderer of those 4 college students in Moscow, Idaho, which is the population of, what is the population of Moscow? $26,000 people. Stop it. It's 26,000 people. 4 people murdered. That was going to have a change of venue anyway. It had nothing to do with Trusco, which I thought the whole time he was saying Trusco. I didn't even realize it was Truscope until I saw Jeff Burlew typing Truscope. I don't even know the name. So funny. I really was tickled by the whole thing. I thought it said 9 p.m. It was 9:30. Sorry, John. That was so funny. I know it's not funny, but it was hilarious. If you were sitting in there, it was even funnier because this was me with paper over my face, trying not to laugh. He's got his claim. How much did they pay for that? It's so crazy. So crazy. Well, hello, the 2. I think the names you all are chatting. Hi. You tested positive for C19. I have no idea what that is. Sorry, but I hope you feel better. I have no idea what C19 is. So sorry. Hi, Wesley. Hello, Frau Patty. Finally made it to a live stream. Grace Jones was fabulous on Friday night. Bling is in the house. How do we get both three? Going through the chat. I apologize. Lilacs remind you of your mom, Wesley. They are my favorite flower of all time. I use as much lilac scent in my life as I can because I love it. Hi, Missy Ann. I'm here on time for the live, but plugging in my phone. Just wanted to say hello. Hello. Looks like the trial's not being moved again. Hi, Cindy W. Everyone, glad to be here. Glad you're here. Thank you. Hi, Chris. Hi, Junebug. Such sweet names I get to read. Donna's Banana Bread. Hey, Razzle Dazzle. Hey, Sade. I know it's not Sade, but that's how I say it. It's a thing. You look great. Thank you, Missy Ann. It's a shade I do enjoy. I do like the green. Seriously, you know this is past my bedtime. Well, it's also past my husband's, and I need to be around him right now as much as possible. So sorry. It's a mess right now. Hey, Max, how are you? Always great to see you too. Wesley loves Oktoberfest. A teal color. Yeah, this is actually, it shows teal in the, but this is a green, like it's forest green. But I have a teal one as well. I got them on Temu. Don't judge. Hi, Jeannie. Hi, Agent 47. There's something I should know concerning a certain individual you spoke about a couple months ago. Tell me, Mrs. Dashwood. I'm all ears or eyes. Hi, Becky. Hi, Kathy. Well, thank you, Bling is the new. I still don't know what C19 is. You're going to have to text me. I love smoking hot Pater Tragos. That's the only reason. Well, my hair is good, though. I will tell you, my hair is good. Well, thank you. I am a human. I am a human extraordinaire. You can bail you out. Praise the Lord, I don't need bailed out yet. Patty, give me your idea of the Karen verdict. I have absolutely no idea. I've read too much and watched too much this time around that I know what I think, but I have no idea what a jury's going to say. I have absolutely no idea. I wish I knew. Georgia said that nobody would riot over Donna's verdict. Was she not witty? She had some wit about her. When she started talking, this was me. She starts talking about she's had 367 videos of golden retrievers. I was literally, my eyes were tearing up. 376, she said. 376 golden retrievers. And she could barely remember 3. How did Donna look? Pretty good. So she's just seated, but her face didn't show anything. Like when Georgia was cracking about this case is not going to Miami, even though that's kind of the implication, she didn't she didn't blink. When she mentioned the 376 golden retrievers that Georgia's joking about, she didn't blink. When she mentioned the riot, she didn't fudge a move. Like she was She looked pretty focused. She smiled at her attorneys, but she was pretty focused. What I found the most entertaining about her was when she left, she forgot to shuffle. She had the leg irons on. She forgot to shuffle. You know, what? Remember that one video I think most of us saw where Donna's like lugging across the room, like, she's like this. She walked across the room and I turned to the reporter next to me, Chuchar, and I was like, she forgot to shuffle. She forgot. She forgot. She was like, lugging it on, like, oh, these weigh 100 pounds. She forgot to shuffle. COVID-19. Oh, thank you. You too. Oh, I didn't know that. I had no idea. Thank you for telling me that. Patty and everyone, happy Father's Day. Yes, happy Father's Day. And my husband's son, my stepson, got married yesterday. I don't know where. I just know that because they made the Facebook announcement and they called Chris. So that was nice. He couldn't have gone. I mean, let's face it. They were planning to get married last August, and we were planning to go to Kentucky, but life happened, and that didn't happen, and now that's not happening. So, but my husband was happy for them, so that's good. Red and right. I beg your pardon, Georgia. I can loot a Nordstrom's like it's an Apple store in LA. Orly says, Patty, I miss you and so sad and sorry for what you're going through with your husband. Thank you. Because I am sad too. I'm to the point where I just cannot believe this is happening to me. Like, I cannot. So, a brief update, because I don't want to go on about it. I don't want to sound like those women. No offense to those women. I just don't want to. But my husband has been having huge memory challenges. He's been to a neurologist and twice. He's had 2 MRIs, one without contrast, one with contrast. They showed the same. The left side of his brain has atrophy, more so than the right. He had a regular panel of blood work by his primary physician. Then the neurologist ordered a lot of blood work to include Lyme disease, HIV, syphilis, all of these, a lot of blood work, like a lot of vials. Blood work did not come back great. His normal panel stuff, like the blood panel stuff, came back great, but it looks like he has an autoimmune disease. And he definitely has the 3 markers for it. Shocked. We just got it late Friday, so the doctor likely did not read it as yet. We get this, we use LabCorp, and there's a portal, and you can log into the portal and then read your blood work, which is so not the last time I worked as a nurse in 2003. So this is obviously a lot more advanced where I can go on to the imaging website and look that. Like I can look all that up. So it's fascinating to me. But I could go on the portal, and when I saw it as a nurse, I was like, what? So it kind of made me think back of what the doctor said the first day. Could be autoimmune, could be an infection, could be. And I just kind of blew it off because why would Chris have an autoimmune disease? Doesn't have joint pain. He doesn't complain. He complains of headaches now, but he wasn't complaining of headaches. When the neurologist did his exam, they used that, I don't know what the tool is called, but it's kind of like a tuning fork. And they check your reflexes, it's not the hammer, but it was the tuning fork. And I don't even know why they used that. But he checked his calves, and Chris barely could feel it. And I don't know if you've ever had that feeling of a neurologist or a doctor using that long tuning fork. It's kind of obnoxious. Let me see what they call it. Hold on one second. I'm a person, if you're just tuning in, that pulls things up on the fly. As someone said, I know it's unprofessional. It is a tuning fork. It is a tuning fork. I wasn't wrong. Neurologists use tuning forks to assess vibration sensation and can help peripheral neuropathy. Now, I wasn't really paying attention because I was only paying attention to his memory. But when I saw the orders, I think I have one here. No, I took it out to the car. One of his orders at the top says, how does it say? Like something about, let's see if I can find it, how it was worded, that somebody might know what I'm talking about. Hold on one second. No, it doesn't. Oh, here it is. I didn't read it until I read it. Idiopathic peripheral neuropathy. And it didn't even really occur to me until, hold on one second, I'm going to turn the air down. I have it set on a timer. So the order says idiopathic peripheral neuropathy. And I was like, huh? So I read the blood work. And the blood work showed an ANA was positive. He was positive for Smith antibodies. I forget the other thing it was. What was it? It was... Smith antibodies, the blood work. I sent it to his brother. So all of those things that it could possibly be point to lupus. So I haven't talked to the doctor yet, obviously, because I just found out Friday. But I was quite dumbfounded. I'm not going to lie. I was quite, it was his, in case people know what these things are, it was his immunoglobulin. That's what it was. Immunoglobulin, the Smith antibodies, and the ANA. And I'm like, and then I thought back, the neuropathy in his calves, he didn't feel that. That is not a normal thing, right? To not feel that. So he didn't really feel it when he bangs the tuning fork against your calves. And then I just remember him, because he didn't tell us everything because he didn't know, and he still doesn't know probably. But sitting in front of Chris the first day and saying, "You are very sick. You are very ill, sir." And then I was like, "Yeah, he has dementia. You're ill." No. Then it was the next time, he's doing the exams. And if you go to the last show, I talk about, he asked him to float his hand above a table and hold it there. Chris couldn't do it. Can't follow any direction. I'm telling you, none. If I said, open up the umbrella, Chris, and walk to the car, he wouldn't know how to do it. Like, that's how severe this is. And that's how fast this is. And so he's there now and he goes, I talked to him about frontotemporal dementia because of his mood swings. I mean, they are severe. So he's got these mood swings. And he's like, well, it could be. And then he says, he said, well, even the first time, he said, I don't think he should be alone. I was like, well, that's not going to happen because I work and I'm the only income now, and that's just not going to happen. So he's going to have to be alone. And then I thought back on this on Friday, and I thought, oh, that's why he doesn't want him to be alone. Other than the neuropathy, the language issues with his left side hemisphere having more atrophy than the right side hemisphere, I have no idea why he concentrated hard on autoimmune disease. But he was like, go back to the conversation he did. He's afraid he's going to have a seizure. So what I looked up, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, it's late, so my eyes itch. So what I looked up is neuropsychiatric lupus, which is NP-SLE, systemic lupus erythematosus. And I was like, get the fuck out. So I called Chris and I was like, good news. You have blood work that shows something other than Alzheimer's type dementia, or I don't know what else you could have, but you have something else. You don't have a tumor, because we know that. You don't have thyroid issues, because we know that. But you might have this. Now, it's not great at all, not in your brain, but we'll see. I mean, I honestly don't know. But the man cannot open an umbrella and then walk to the truck. If you say walk to the truck, he can do that. If you say open umbrella, he might be able to do that. He cannot do both. If I give him two things to do, he cannot do it. Cannot do it. Christopher, and I'm just learning this because I'm used to lists. I'm an analytical person. Chris, can you go take the laundry in and switch over to the dryer? He's befuddled. He can take the laundry somewhere, but I better be specific. When that laundry's done, I better be specific. I speak in like 4-word sentences right now in my house. So weird and so fast. So when that second visit, he said to Chris, sir, you're very sick, and I cannot believe how quickly this is. We have to figure this out. So we hadn't got the blood work back yet. We hadn't got the MRI back yet. So his next step is an EEG, which is an encephalogram, which Chris is now saying to me, he doesn't want any more tests. Okay. Why? Well, he's not used to being sick. He's not used to having headaches. He's not ever. I can't remember in our marriage when he's had a headache. I've shared with you before, he's never even had an upset stomach. He hasn't had one yet, so that's good. But he's like, I gotta go lay down. My head hurts. I was like, what? So I'm writing all this down because my good friend from here, Gretchen, sent me a caregiver package. And, I can write these items down. And then my good friend over here, ChatGPT, has a checklist for me where I can write things down and hand it to the doctor. Like, this time was weird. That time was weird. And I'm not trying to oversimplify it, and I'm not trying to overcomplicate it. So I don't know what is a symptom or what isn't a symptom, because honestly, I have never heard of this before. So what I looked up through ChatGPT, my good friend sitting to my right, it's very rare. It's very rare in whites, men who are this age, extremely rare. That's all I know. But hopefully the doctor, we have this portal, which is great, that I can send them a message and say, Can we move up the EEG? This isn't working. I don't know if 2 weeks is going to make a difference until we get that done. I'm afraid that it will. So we'll see. But his brother is also, I made him power of attorney on his medical. So he's going to take some of the heavy lift over the phone for me and call the doctor tomorrow because he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand. He's a CPA in California. He doesn't understand the speed or why his brother is so sick. I mean, that's the only way to describe it. And the only thing you can do is like steroids, which aren't good for Chris because he is bipolar. What else? Methotrexate, something like that. So we'll see. I don't know. But what I do know is that you all are amazing. And I just got through that without crying. So that's good too. Absolutely amazing. I don't think people understand, like, that's where I'll cry. How kind this group of people are to me and to my husband. The people at my church, the women in my church, the women that we meet together and we pray and talk about the Bible, how kind they are. Chris's church, how kind they are. It's just been absolutely amazing experience. And I truly hope no one ever has to go through it. But if you are going to go through it, have this group of people to cheer you on and be like, you can do it, Patty. And just sending emails and not even requiring a response, which I always feel like I have to do, but that's just me. But like no one is asking for anything back, right? They're not saying, hey, Patty, I know you're busy, but could you write me a 4-page dialogue of how you're feeling? No one's doing that. It's absolutely incredible. I'll never be able to share with you the appreciation I have for the kind words. I just won't. From Reddit to YouTube to my Twitter, Facebook, X, not to my Facebook, to my own family. I didn't. Ugh. My grandson moved to New Mexico, and I didn't get to see him before he left. And he's only 8. His name is James. My son's Jamie. He goes by James. I call him Tig. Is this like Tigger, Tig? And I didn't get to see him. And I don't know when I'll get to see him. But when I called my son for Father's Day, he was so nice about it. Like, he's like, Mom, no one is expecting anything of you. I'm like, that is like incredible. You know what I mean? So I just thank you all. I really do. I don't want to go on and on about it, but it sounds, I don't know, but it's just incredible to wake up in the morning and see people from all over the world wishing my husband well and praying for him and asking, is he okay? He's not. He is okay. We had a few giggles today. I took him to dinner, took him on like, what do you want, Chris? He loves Florida State. So we went and got some Florida State gear. He enjoys that. It makes him feel good. So we did that, took him to dinner, took him home, and then he had a headache. He went to bed at 7 o'clock, which is about an hour earlier than he normally does. But he never complains of pain. It's just headache right now, which is concerning at best. But I will follow up with the doctor tomorrow. But thank you, Orly, for mentioning it. I mean, he's just a mess. And he's been, it's like all of us. We're all healthy and wealthy until we're not, right? I mean, that's kind of all we are. Hi, Chit Chat and Coffee. How are you? And now I really have to let my phone charge. I know. You can't wait for the Karen retrial. Oh, So people that do text me, I only have one phone now. So my priest's phone was destroyed and I really needed to pare down my life. So I have eliminated a laptop, about 4 filing drawers worth of junk and paper products and office supplies. And I'm just eliminating a lot of stuff. And then a phone. So I only have one phone now if you text me. Sometimes I would text from both phones, but I only have one now. Hi, Manira. I'm going to mess you up. Manira. Hi, how are you? I meant the banner can be changed to teal, your favorite color. Oh. Hello, Evernet. How are you? Glad you're watching. Hi, West Virginia Church. So cute. Outhouse. I have to say, it is positively the best color on you. You need to purchase more blouses in this hue. Well, thank you, Mia. Ah la la. I do like it. You know, you may not know, but I'm a winter cool, so I can wear the jewel tones. Agree, Patty. Your hair looks great, and green is absolutely your color. Well, thank you. I'm sad about my hair because I don't really have much perm in it, and so like perm from permanent, and it doesn't have as much lift as it used to. You know, I like high hair. I like very high, tall hair, and I don't really have that right now, so I have to work on that. Hi, Donna. How are you? Donna. Thank you, Wesley, sweetheart. Thank you. Hi. I'm sorry, Margaret. Hello, Margaret, but I'm going to move to Donna's bread. She's going to riot. She did have clothes on. She looks really good in orange. She looks much better in orange than she did in the... Okay, so let me tell you. So I was going to do that. So she walks out. She forgot to shuffle. She forgot to shuffle, almost fell out. So then you see her like this, right? And the hair is in a clip. There's a clip on the back that I guess she's allowed to have. And it's yellow. It's like Lori Daybell yellow. Like, so it's here, you know, she has a pull to the side, like she looks like Jan Brady. Remember Jan Brady from the Brady Bunch? That's her hairstyle. And then back here, from about nape of her neck down, it's yellow. It's long too. It's really long. I loved when she said, I don't remember her confessing. You have that, send it to me. I know she didn't cut a grin at that either. She didn't. She was quite witty. She was in. Her hair is just about middle of her back, but it's like thin. Do you know what I mean? Because it's nasty. So it's just disgusting. So the hair kind of like, well, I'm not doing it right down. Pairs down in the back, and it's yellow. Lori Daybell yellow. Which is a new color. It's so gross. She looks ghostly. Oh, she's definitely pale. But she didn't like roll her eyes or make faces. Or she actually looked better than she has. Now, I know it's not what everyone wants to hear, but she didn't shuffle. Shuffle, Mr. C. I'll email you. Oh, thank you, Mrs. Dashwood. Hi, D. Love of God. Yeah, her name's Cassidy. So I have another daughter. Only one son-in-law who I love. You're all about elopements. It is cheaper, but it's nice to be able to be with you, you know. Thank you, Max. Mia's hearts. Always hearts. Mia's got the heart. Hi, Armand. Thank you, Mr. C. His son, Brian, called him today, and he said they talked for a while, so that was nice. We love the updates, Vicky. Thank you. I feel odd doing that, you know. It's not my shtick, but I do. I mean, it's nice to talk about it. It's even nicer to talk about it and not cry. So, cheers, Patty. Love the nail typing always. Yeah, I'm up for it. They're very long, but I like them long. Definitely like them long. Hi, Al's gal. How are you? Well, if I can come in more often in the evening, I can do this. You see, and they tested me with it after my TBI until I started getting my fine control back. And I'll bet you a Diet Coke that my left side is still slower than my right, than to register the vibration. I didn't even pick up on that tuning fork thing until I read the blood work. And I thought, oh, that's why he has that on there. I saw that on the order, but it didn't click as to what he was looking for. He's looking for autoimmune disease. It's a 275 tuning fork. We use it in chiropractic exams. I forget what that felt like. But I've talked to other people when I went to go smoke cigars Friday that they were saying it's annoying. It's an annoying feeling. You are giving me good vibrations. And isn't it amazing the love that came out for Brian Wilson? Funnily, the same name as my stepson. But Brian Wilson and his art of music has really come out, and I'm sure he could have used some of that when he was alive. Patricia, you have lupus. Bless your heart. Do you know anyone where it went to their brain? Damn, so sorry. Maybe he will get better with treatment. I hope so. I hope they get him some treatment. Now don't tell him, but he's going to have that lumbar puncture. I had said, he doesn't even know about it. Don't tell him. He had, I knew that was going to be like the last thing on my list to deal with. And I was like, oh, well, if the MRI shows, yeah, or if the blood work shows, we won't have to do it. We're going to have to do it. I'm not telling him either. I'm going to drop him off at radiology and leave and have someone else pick him up because he's going to be pissed. I'm not into it. May I ask anybody who's good at EN with a little help? All I need to do is find someone who'd be happy to read a short extract of my poem in prose and let me know if my translation makes a perfect sense. I don't know what EN is. He definitely has major inflammation going on. But think about that in his brain. Oxalate's toxicity can lead to all those things that are, he doesn't have Parkinson's. That I know. He'll get a diagnosis. You mean by English? It's a poem in prose in English, which I need to revise. Hi, Patty and everyone in Edmonton. I'm so stoked. I thought I had to wait until tomorrow and watch it after the show. Well, I'm so glad I made your day. I'm 58 years old and almost died last summer. I found out I was born without the enzyme that breaks down oxalates in plants. Oh my God. It took me 7 years of tests to get diagnosed with lupus, but I'm on Plaquenil, which is originally an anti-malarial drug. Before I went on it, I didn't like being alone. Oh, wow, honey. Hi, Sandra Key. It is not curable. No autoimmune disease is curable. It's manageable. But, you know, there are people, Serena, what is it, Serena? What's the singer? The young girl. Is it Serena Lopez? I think she has lupus. She had to have her, yeah, it is Serena. Selena Gomez, my bad. Selena Gomez, she had to have a kidney transplant. So it affects everyone differently, and hers is voracious. The rumor, there's other rumors about other celebrities having it. Lady Gaga said to have it. Seal is said to have it. Toni Braxton, Paul Abdul, Nick Cannon. There was someone who passed away. Who was it? Maybe it was someone I knew personally. I'm trying to remember. I forget who it was, but there was someone who had it, and they passed away rather quickly, but I can't remember the name. In a confused state, and your brain was almost shutting down on me. I became confused, and then and I feel like I had lost a day, which was so upsetting. And I think that's what Chris has. I know he's confused. Like, I know that. I know he can't follow any direction at all. And that's all I like to do, is give direction. So imagine what that marriage is like right now. I really have to stop myself and just do it myself. But I think he should be able to do something. Like, I don't want him to stop doing everything, but I have to really, like, one thing at a time. Literally one thing at a time. So let's think about. Became confused and then inert. Yeah, when he started complaining of the headaches this week, and then I thought about it more and did some more ChatGPT, it really made me nervous. Need to get him on monoclonal antibiotics as soon as possible. Methotrexate is used for arthritis, which I would guess. Well, lupus is a form of arthritis, from what I remember back in the nursing thing. And methotrexate is one of the things that he'll be able to take. Plaquenil is another one. Oh, well, thank you, JJ. My brother said I'm special, but not in the same way that I think you meant it. You're special, Patty. Thank you, Debbie. Well, I try to be strong, but I ain't doing it all day. Well, thank you, Wesley. How nice are you? See what I'm saying? Like, oh, so nice. He could go into remission with treatment. I'm praying, like. Well, thank you, Becky. You guys are so nice. Like, who doesn't want to look at that all day? I mean, monoclonal antibody for the treatment of SLE with neurological. Hold on one second. Monoclonal. I gotta like talk it out. Laboratory produced molecules that act like human antibiotics. Ooh. MABs are engineered to bind to specific proteins, antigens, on target cells like cancer. Immune system activation, they trigger the immune system. And this doctor would be the kind of guy that would be pro this. Because he told us that Chris, if he had a PET scan, he said he would be eligible for a PET scan. And then if he had the plaques on the brain for Alzheimer's, then he would be eligible for studies. So he's very pro, like, study. I guess study is the best word. Patty. I'm going to take a picture of this because I'll lose it. I need to keep your comments. Oh, well, thank you, KJ. Kind of you. How are you? I try to be a good grandma, but I felt really awful because I want to see him. So, just time is getting away from me, right? Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm going to take in a picture of your ideas because I know nothing. And that's the only way I'll have to remember it. The jewel tones. This is a deep jade kind of emerald. Yeah, it is. It's very much more green. Let's see. I don't know. Then I think it looks more teal in the picture, but it's very, very green. Thank you, KJ. My hair looks great. No, but I like some height. I like the height. Like, it makes you look taller, thinner. Oh, you haven't seen me with a bad day. Ooh, girl. Tater. You gotta hang out. You got to hang out. Your hair looks like you, and you're a professional. That's right, you are. Dude, I wish you were here. I have let this kind of grow in a little bit, like do the tapered look. It's due. My hair looks cute. Well, thank you. It doesn't even look cuter. Like, look, you know what I noticed? Sorry for this. My hair is growing back in. Look at that. It's finally growing back in from the COVID. Look at it was all bald back here. Look, my hairline went all the way back. But it's starting to grow back in a bit. I'm very excited. Cheers. That's how much hair I lost. Like, it was like all the way back. That was my COVID-19. Donna needs to. Jan Brady hated being part of the Brady Bunch. She was unappreciative, snarky. But I'm telling you, you remember that side part with the, yeah, that was her. Hi, DW, how are you? Someone said Donna was medicated. Yeah, they don't know that, though. We don't know. Do you know how hard it is? Like, you guys say that. Do you know how hard it is to get that kind of medication in a jail? It just doesn't happen. Eric, thank you. Adversity makes me radiant. Oh, I wish. I really do. I have had it. I have 3 friends I was talking to today, and they were like, in their family, when they are stressed out or have a lot going on, they lose weight. I was like, and I'm here eating my feelings. Your mother gave you wet, damp money today. I told her the Adelson story. She prefers tied with pounds. Cute. The Playhouse Jester is in the house. You're a snuggle lover, Debbie. That's funny. About an hour before show, I texted you a hair product you might love. Well, let me look. I was working. Kitsch. I just was at Ulta. I took Chris. I like it. Thank you. Thank you. I almost said your real name. Thank you. So Max asked me, he's slurring words. He is slurring words. My husband's slurring words. He tried to say, what was he saying? Congregate? Couldn't say it. He said congregate. But he was slurring words in the neurologist's office. He couldn't say ifs, ands, or buts. He couldn't say it. He couldn't say apple, table, penny. Couldn't say it. How'd you lose your crown? What's up with YouTube? Well, as long as they're using the tuning fork for a chiropractic exam, it's not a problem. I know. Wrong office. That would be funny. Happy Father's Day to all my daddios in this chat. and out there, not in the chat, just watching. There's almost 300 people in here. I'm happy to say every day this side of dirt is a good day, at least for me, and I hope that for everyone. That's a really, really positive thing. Jersey girl, is that the same thing as having an epidural when you have a baby? Oh my God. Gomez, thank you. There is power in prayer. I know he does. It is so weird. Oh, that's the reason he has facial scarring. What? He has discoid lupus. He has DLE. Well, I'm sorry, but he looks sexy. Okay, so I know that's not what he wants to hear, but that is one sexy man. You love the Mark Twain quote. It's one that not everyone knows. They know the other one about there's lies, there's more lies, and then there's statistics. It is worrisome. But the doctor heard him slur his words, so he's aware. Oh, wow. Tater. Oh, his son's going to Parsons Design. That'll be exciting. I love that show when Heidi was on. I have lupus, Patty. It did affect my brain once. I was in the hospital for a week on massive steroids and painkillers, and it worked. Inflammation from lupus can affect everywhere. Do you have any after effects, DW? No, I know, Eric. It's just hard. I can't leave Chris right now, so I just see them on FaceTime, which I'm very, since my kids were in Afghanistan, FaceTime has been amazing to me. So people give Meta and Facebook a hard time for being Meta and Facebook. Not me. There's no one that loves Facebook more than me. I make money on it. I use it to see my family when I couldn't possibly be there. It's amazing. I have been, JJ. My husband walks around in basketball shorts and a basketball shirt 24 hours a day. Like, he only wears comfortable clothes. That's it. I had to have a face swelling amount of steroids to stop the foggy thinking and inertia. Luckily, it was not reduced. Resurfaced now. I've learned to manage the whole thing. Wow. Any drug that ends with MAB is a monoclonal antibody. A lot of chemo drugs are monoclonal. Wow. Thank you for that. Also, I gotta take a picture. Sorry, I'm taking pictures as I go along. I have your Rituxan and IVIG. Yeah, immunoglobulin is low. Thank you, Melissa. How are you? I heard Donna got naked, was atop a table. I wondered if she was getting ready for a date with Big Sue. Oh, what a mess that woman is. 10 years and you were getting... Well, for this one, he had 2 MRIs, so he would not have that. They are doing a lumbar puncture, so they'll test his cerebral spinal fluid. It's going to kill him. Like, he's going to be so pissed at me when this happens. My spirits are good. I am not depressed. I get sad like anybody would, but I'm not depressed at all. I don't really get depressed. Thank God. I used to when I was younger. Pregnant. Hormonal. Patty, watch the movie Brain on Fire. Let me look at that. I almost said it, but I didn't want to say it, Bling. I know. Mia says, Seal is handsome. Thanks for sharing that, Patricia. I had no idea that was the cause of his scarring. I didn't know. Oh, Chevy. Chevy's the outhouse gal. That expert Donna had was ridiculous. Even the expert agreed that you would have to ask questions to try and see the jury. That expert was ridiculous. I can't wait till we can see the document he admitted into evidence. You guys, let me see if you can see. Hold on. I don't have it queued up. Well, you can kind of see it. Hold on. There is a look at this binder right here. See the binder? It was thick. It was thicker than Chicky Poo Wendy's divorce filing. That's the stats that this guy's given. Let's see if I can scroll to it. I don't really see it. Oh, there you see it. See it? That's the binder with all the stats. That's his media binder. 77 pages of podcasts that he could not analyze. How could you not analyze that? Because you want to spend the time to analyze it. Donna's attorneys are. They're very cordial. In the hallways, in the elevator, you know, we go down separately down the elevator. Very cordial, smiley face, all great. They brought up Irwin Jackson again. So if you don't know, Irwin Jackson is a large private landowner here in town. He's a PhD. He is an amazing man, very generous, very kind, very knowledgeable. Irwin Jackson was on the jury pool for Charlie Adelson. They used that ring guy, that guy who was going to come in, I can't remember his name, who was coming in, it was the jury consultant. And they went back 5 years into Irwin Jackson's Facebook, which he rarely uses, to find 2 posts that were anti-Charlie. And when they just didn't like him and they knew who he was, they Googled him, they knew his politics, they knew it all. So when Irwin Jackson goes to get questioned, do you have any opinion? He goes, not really. Then they go back 5 years and found 2 posts. You know why I know that it was only 2 posts? Because Irwin Jackson gave me his Facebook and told me to look it up for him because he didn't even know where they were. They didn't even show him the post. They just said, you lied. And so they're bringing that up in here. And you should have seen Jackie Fulford. Yep, he was there. He was there. And that's when Judge Everett goes, and he was shown the door. He didn't make it to the panel. And then Zellman goes, Josh Zellman, Donna's lead attorney, says, is that what we have to do, Judge? We have to hire a consultant to go through everyone's social media? Yeah, likely you do. Likely you do have to go through everyone's social media. Likely you do. Sorry, spend the money. Georgia girl says her 15-year-old granddaughter has been undergoing tests for lupus. I'm so sorry. So sorry. No, he's only done a few change of venue requests. She cannot be medicated. I mean, she just cannot. They're just not doing it. Hi, Chantabelle. Yeah, I don't think she has the rapport. I think she has more rapport with Jackie Fulford than she has with Zellman. We got her. That's an incredible angle. So you can see her hair goes well past her shoulders. It's crazy. The woman's insane. Well, that's what was brought up at the end of this hearing, Anya, was that there are Supreme Court cases that show you really can't do it. So that's why Everett asked Georgia and then Josh Zellman, can this be answered after a jury is sat? Which, of course, it can. Hi, my father's alibis. How are you? Why she didn't cut that hair is awful. Hey, Leslie. Expert was a joke. You think she's exhausted? I don't think she's exhausted. I don't see that. I just don't see it. She looks awful. That attorney, I don't know if she has not had any sleep, but she looks like she's lost 15 pounds and she doesn't have it to lose since this case started. She looks so thin. Georgia was in her thing. I don't show her anymore. Georgia was really in her own, man. She was all Georgia during that hearing. But they're not going to get a change of venue. Every time Zellman takes a sip, Hal is getting any liquid. He doesn't tilt the bottle at all. Hey, Avalia Keogh. Keogh is my grandmother's maiden name. Keogh. I heard Tim Jansen say in Florida, you do have to try and seat a jury. And they went back. The reporters went back in time. There has not been a jury true venue for a murder case since Ted Bundy. You think she looks drained? Donna looks comatose. And the little she started doing her hair, so it looks like she is wearing a barrette in the back. There is a barrette. Why is that hair not Snow White? Well, I don't want to say it because she's Jewish. I mean, that hair is dark underneath there, but she's Jewish. You would cut her hair for free. She just needs a bologna sandwich and a haircut. I wonder what they're going to do with her hair. So I am taking a class on world religions. And in this class, I had to go to a religious service that is not my own and write a 7-page paper about it. So I'm not going to a Muslim church, no offense. I just don't want to, or mosque or whatever the hell it is. I do. And there's really nothing. Like, I've already been to a Baptist service, Lord knows. My first marriage was all about the Baptist, so I didn't want to do that. There's no real Mennonite around here, although I love them. There's no Brethren in Christ, which is also a peaceful church. I thought about the Nazarene. I wanted to go to a church that was not my own. I had to, like, that was the class. So I chose Jewish because I've always been fascinated by it as a Catholic. And I've been to some Reformed services where it's a funeral, where friends of mine are Jewish here in town and their parents passed away. So I went to that, which is Temple Israel, which is not far from this office. So I called my friend Julie, and she's the one I've talked about before. She's the older woman who had all that money taken inappropriately by Danielle Andrews, allegedly. And according to the judge, not really alleged. She is Jewish, and she goes to a conservative synagogue. So I called her and I said, Julie, I need to go to your service, and do you mind if I join you? Which is, I have to go. Would you please? I really want to go, but I have to go. And she was like, sure. She was so excited. So guess where it was? Because I didn't know. It was Dan Markel's synagogue here in town. And I learned so much. I spent, how long? I was there for like 3 hours, maybe long. No, it was 4 hours. I was there for 4 hours, met the nicest people in the world that answered all of my questions that I could think of on the fly about Judaism, and let me participate in this service. Let me read. They were salt of the earth, sweetest people you could ever imagine. The synagogue is all volunteer, which now I understand why Dan would be reading and they didn't have a full-time rabbi. So they don't have a full-time rabbi. Rabbis are expensive. It's a very small synagogue. There's probably 250 people, I think Julie said. When you walk in, it's small. Like, it looks so much larger in the photos or the video online from Dan's memorial service. So much larger, and it's not. I mean, not at all. It has a foyer, a library, an area for children to learn their faith, a social area that is attached to the sanctuary. So the carpet changes, and there's tables that are lined up cafeteria style. They have a very nice kitchen. It is not kosher, but it is a very nice kitchen. And they served me food at the end, and it was lush. It was absolutely just the warmest people. They're like, come back anytime. Talk to this guy, Monty. Monty's a professor at Tallahassee State College. He teaches history. He looks like Richard Dreyfuss. Absolutely adorable. He used to be a full-time dean at Tallahassee State College. Now he's only adjunct because he's retired. But he works the library. And you walk in that library, and honestly, I'm going to ask Julie if I can just go over there and sit for 8 hours on a day off so I can read. It was old books, old Jewish cookbooks, like really, like Like, can I borrow a cookbook? It was amazing. It was an amazing service. Their warmth and kindness to me. They knew I was there for a school project. They got to see the scrolls. I got to go up on the altar. I got to participate, which as a Catholic is amazing. I got to read the scrolls, the whole thing. I hope I never forget it. I hope I get to go back. There was probably just maybe 50 people there. Nah, not even that many. Maybe 30 people, all older. They work the grounds, like they do all the landscaping themselves, they do all the cleaning themselves, they do all the books. Everything is really grassroots and volunteer based. And I can honestly see why someone like, who's so highly educated like Dan Markel would love that, because everyone around them was so highly educated. The man who spoke, who gave a speech about his life, was a PhD from California Institute of Technology. He talked about going in the Army, not being drafted, but joining the reserves, being able to finish his PhD in chemical engineering, how he worked through his life and how Judaism was a thread through his whole life. Even though when he was first in high school, he didn't really know, like he participated as a Jew, but it wasn't really an in-depth knowledge of Judaism or that kind of relationship. And he went on to, and he was like, had a little show and tell, he called it. So he passed around his thesis. And so I read the preface and I read the conclusion, and they were just very generous to me. It's just like this girl or woman who goes in, knows nothing, and just has questions. And they were like, at the end, this one lady goes, "See, we don't have horns." And I was like, no, ma'am. I am friendly. I am very friendly and very appreciative that you all shared yourselves and your space with me. It was really incredible. And then I went home and I wrote my notes and literally wrote my paper in 4 hours. It was so easy to write it after that experience. So it was great. It was really great. It was a lovely opportunity. I had to take 16 weeks of Judaism classes before he got married. My husband's idea of kosher is not eating bacon. They had lox and bagels and cream cheese of like 4 different kinds. And desserts, like it's lunch. They had all these desserts and so much fresh fruit and coffee and tea and soda and what else? Ooh, they had like a baked Alfredo, like chicken Alfredo, olives, like just sorts of condiments. It was just lovely. In college, way back in my early 20s, I did a paper on different religions. I interviewed 5 different people who were it was very interesting, and you got an A. Good for you. I took this class when I was in nursing school 33 years ago. And I think that's why I'm doing so well now, because I really do enjoy studying different faiths, not my own. I'm on the Hindu side of things in the class, and I have friends that are Hindu because they're Indian. Well, you don't have to be Indian to be Hindu, but they are. And that was interesting to me. But they're out of the country right now, so I didn't want to ask. They are in India. But it's been, Detroit bagels are the best, right? They were very good. It was warm. When the bagel was warm, like they didn't like just plate you. Like they had it all like top notch. It was really nice. Very, very nice people. It was a joy. I do need warmth and kindness. Everyone does. I just happen to get lucky with you all. What are you talking about? Who'd they catch? Who'd they get? Who? Who got caught? Let me go. I don't. They get that Oh, Vance Bolter's in custody. I can't believe he didn't kill himself. But that guy still, that fake dad, the guy who killed his 3 girls is still out there. Very refreshing. I'm glad you shared that, Patty. It was fabulous. Like, I'm like, lunches next week. It really was. They wore, the women wore a small lace or crocheted head covering. The men wore the yarmulke. They had I don't know what it is, but like a shawl with tassels, which is very, I know that's old school Jewish, like the robe Jesus had the tassels on. It was just very comfortable. I had so many notes that I was overwhelmed, but I was able to come back. Like, I'm not going to get this paper done. My husband's sick. Like, how am I going to do this? And it just flowed. It was so easy to do. Caught Vance in Minnesota. I was hoping they caught that father, biosperm donor. Cooper hijacked a plane. Yeah, they keep trying to solve that. They're never solving that. Oh, well, thank you, Debbie. You went to services every week when your daughter was growing up. I really enjoyed it. I was shocked, and this may not occur in every service because I don't know. I've only been to now one conservative Jewish service, but it's so casual. It is unlike, I thought conservative would be more orthodox, and it wasn't. However, Julie explained to me, because she is Israeli, she grew up in Israel. She said that growing up, they were conservative, but it was a lot more strict conservative in her family than it was here in the United States as far as conservative. So I guess there's different scales and ranges of conservative Judaism. But I thought it would be more segregated. I thought there would be a rabbi. There was no rabbi. I was shocked at how many people were on the altar reading from the scrolls at the same time. Sometimes there were as many as 6 people up there. I was like, what is going on? So I still have questions about that I'm going to get back with you, Julie. That obviously, Catholic, we have a priest, it would never happen. And we had that conversation. I was like, why don't you have a rabbi? And she said, well, it'd be like $100,000 a year, plus the house, plus all these things. I'm like, priests are cheap. And she just laughed at me. I said, I think our priest makes around $26,000 a year, but his housing's taken care of, his utilities, but that's being taken care of by the diocese, not just the salaries paid for by the church, but the diocese owns the rectory or the building where the priest lives. And sometimes it's 2 and 3 priests at a time. So in that way, a priest is much less expensive than a rabbi. So it was just interesting to get, and that's what I had to do, is write a compare and contrast. So the most easily compare and contrast is really Jewish to Catholic. They said he had to have had help to escape. Well, I think they need to look no further than his wife. It was very social. It was very social. I was shocked. Like, there's a gentleman up there reading from the Torah, and then people are like talking behind me, and then it was normal. Like, they're like, Julie's like, no, it's fine. I was like, it's fine. I'm not going to talk. I'm going to what? But Julie's like, no, because she wanted to show me around. So the man's up there reading his prayers. This is before the scrolls are brought out, of course. You come up here reading his prayer, and she's introducing me to everybody. I'm like, I must look like that. What is happening here? And she's like, no. This is very social. And it was. And they read prayers and they sang so beautifully. And there was a red book and a blue book. And the blue book was more the scrolls. And the red book was more the Pentateuch, you know, the 5 books of the Bible. So the first 5 books. And it was fantastic because it had the Hebrew, like the characters, the written characters, and then it had the how do they say it? It was the like the interpretation of what these verses meant, but it also had the verse in English. So you could follow along, right to left. You could follow along. And then I was picking up on it when in the red, it had just the Hebrew. I could hear and read and go along. And she's like, well, you can read up here. And that was too confusing. So I just read separately, you know, when they stopped, but I followed along the red words and it was much easier to concentrate. It was interesting. That hasn't been your experience in Temple. Yeah, it was very, very, very casual, very social, but it's very volunteer. It was all volunteer. I've been to a lot of different churches and went to the dedications. The ones I like best were the Black churches. They have a good time. They do. They do. There's dancing, singing. I mean, it's worship, like what you would think worship. One of our best friends is a Black minister. I went to the mikvah before I got married because my mother-in-law was going to sit Shiva if I didn't. We revere certain criminals in our great land. They did. Oh, he had that USAID money too from the Congo. He was living in a millionaire's property. That's what it is, a talus. Thank you. Talus. Thank you. You love the gospel music. I can sing. That's called transliteration. Oh, thank you. It was really interesting. I really enjoyed it. You have a purple crown. Well, good for you, WV. Let's see what this dude looks like. Captured near Green Isle. There's no video. Sources tell me the multi-agency task force, including Minnesota State Patrol, arrested him in the past 10 minutes. He's been captured alive near Green Isle, where a manhunt has been focused all day. Someone told Amy Klobuchar, Yvette told her, that she was shot 8 times and Senator Hoffman was shot 9 times. That, I mean, the whole thing is just bizarre. Bolter and his wife, here's my Twitter. Let me show you. Bolter and his wife and brother are linked to a residential home security company, and we're now seeing how someone like Bolter may be able to pose as an officer to trick people. That makes sense. Bullet holes are visible in the Hoffman's front door. Door camera video from their next door neighbor shows police going door to door looking for information. I can't believe if they were shot that many times, they lived. That's just incredible. Leslie says, when I wrote the song for Patty, I tried everything to get the chorus sung like a black gospel choir. It wouldn't do it. I wonder why. That Suno's tough, man. Very tough. There's a video of him. I saw it today on JLR of him talking about his accomplishments. It was weird. Hmm. They tracked him by drone. You know what's weird is that roommate of his. Ain't nothing right about that. Nothing. Vance Luther Bolter. I don't see a video of it. He broke out a car window wearing a cowboy hat. This guy is weird. Weird roommate. Very weird. Why would this guy with 5 kids be living with the pizza man from Papa John's? It's odd. Very odd. It's true. Very weird. Like, the pizza dude just freaked me out. I was like, something ain't right about this. Then when I saw how much money he was making for USAID, I was like, oh. His money was cut off. Arrested alive. Here's a, let's see if we can get it. It's a shame he's in Minnesota. They don't have a death penalty, do they? I would only live in a state with a death penalty. He was losing his graving trade. Yeah, he was making a ton of money on USAID and it got cut off, I think, in March. He liked free pizza and he's gay. Well, clearly. That pizza guy's clearly got, I don't know what the age of his porn is, but someone needs to go take a look at that guy's porn. Oh, it's late. Oh my gosh, it's almost 11. Yeah, yeah, he has, this Vince guy has 5 kids and a wife. I heard those since he shot a senator or whatever, they would go for the, oh, one minute. Yeah, but it's a state senator, so I don't know. I don't know. Well, that's Elvis. Elvis came up from the blues. His Elvis came up from the blues and the black church in Memphis. Everybody's saying they're going to give him the electric chair. Well, Minnesota, I mean, not as long as they have that Tim Waltz, who he worked for. No, there is no death penalty in Minnesota. It was abolished in 1911. Tampon. Oh, nobody ever sings, Tater. No one ever sings. No one ever gets the big people in trouble. Nobody. No one. Thank you, Bling is the new black. That was very kind of you. Very nice of you. Thank you. Hope you feel better, girl. That is horrible. Life without parole is all he's going to get. Unless he gets a broomstick up his ass, like several other serial killers. He would not be able to see it, Patricia. His gut was like... That pizza guy hasn't seen his dick in a long time. Tim was a size queen. Yeah, Tim has not come out of the closet yet. Tim is clearly gay. Yes, the people of Minnesota. Well, here's the problem with the death penalty in 2025 is the number of appeals. It's incredible. Debbie, I hope you feel better soon. Debbie took a big fall. Big fall. Deserve. Oh, hilarious. So anyway, let's go back to Donna. Donna and her hearing and the media guy, because the part that I really cared about wasn't the media, was the podcast. You know, the obvious. 77 pages. Now, I don't know if he was talking about, let me see if I can go to the transcript. If he was talking about 77 pages of titles of podcasts. I don't know. Does anyone know? Oh, no. Oh, here it is. Here it is. My fancy transcript, which I love so much. So it says, listening to podcasts, 77 pages of individual podcasts. There is some overlap between platforms. Is that the title or individual names of podcasts? Is that the title of every podcast? However, it's not just the podcast that we're asking the court to consider, but also what people are saying during those podcasts. That was Patty right here. This was me at that point when he said it. The effect on the listener. So Josh Selman is anti-free speech, just so you know. Consider what people are saying, the effect on the listener those podcasts have in the comments that the public makes are where we are seeing the most significant prejudice, the vitriol towards Mrs. Adelson, to her son, to her daughter, and we see in those a number of podcasts. I ran a search yesterday. We see in those, I counted over 20 different episodes just focused on inadmissible. I was done when he said it. Inadmissible? What the fuck is he talking about? A podcast is not admissible. Why would what we say on here be admissible in court? We're not witnesses. We're not a party to the trial. We didn't hire the hitman. Information, as your honor is aware, prior counsel in the state, that's talking about Robert Adelson. You had a name camera hearing last September. I'm not going to go into detail about what that was contained in. It was Robert Adelson. Unfortunately, back in December, when your honor authorized that to be transcribed, it was not sealed. It was posted to the clerk's website. Of course, we all shared it. Media outlets from all over the country obtained that information. They obtained the transcripts. So if it's all over the country, Josh, where's the change of venue going to be that's going to make a difference? They analyze them in their podcast, and that's inadmissible, Judge. And they And now Your Honor has to be ruled inadmissible. It's out there. It's out there for and me. And as I said in my motion, you can't unring that bell. Well, Josh, you need a new bell. You really do. You need a new bell. Because 77 pages of individual podcasts. Okay, I've been on 18 months. And let's see how many podcasts. I have 200 somewhere in there. Like, I have a lot. Now, I may not be in your slip. Like, I may not be on that list. But are you talking about individual podcasters, Josh? Or are you talking about... What are you talking about, dude? I have 281. Like, dude. Very funny. I thought it was funny. You all might not have thought it. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. When he was trying to go on and say, Judge, those podcasts were saying inadmissible things. I was like, what? Chujar, did he just say that? I was like, oh, Wesley, last case management hearing, they only got through half. They were only half those emails. That's when that Jackie Fulford asked for additional time. She asked for additional time because she couldn't. I got nothing. West Virginia. Jeffy goes, there are lots of high-profile trials I know nothing about, like Diddy. I know he had guns and lube. That's all I talk about all the time. Guns and lube. So funny. What? Oh, not to mention the vast amount of commenters are not in Tallahassee or the state. And that's what the expert was saying, was that Todd was saying that because of the podcast being global, he couldn't really analyze where the effect would be on the population. My challenge with the non-podcast analysis is that they use the census from 2020, which is really 2019. Let's face it. And like the judge brought up, our population here changes much more frequently and is much more transitory in Leon County because of the students and because of the professors. We are not the federal census. There are other local opportunities that he could have taken data from, but that would not have benefited Todd. So he could have taken the utilities. He could have taken permitting. He could have taken, what else do they do here? The census tract, which is part of the census. They could have done a lot of things to show apartment rentals, contracts, real estate, and they didn't do it. To show eligible over 18 people. There's a lot of other ways that did not include the census that is 5.5 years old. So, but he chose not to because it wouldn't have benefited him. It was the same reason they heat clumped Charlie and Donna. And if you heard him, the question was about the tab, Georgia, Donna and Charlie together. And he went on to say, oh yeah, it's a simple search. Simple search. And then the statement from the judge was, can we do that right here? Can we search for it and sort right here? And he said, oh, no. Can't do that right here. We need 2 eyes on that. 2 eyes to make sure it's accurate, which means it didn't benefit him, so he didn't do it. The attorney meant comments from podcasters such as Katie Drunk Lady and Fancy Face. Well, probably. But that's inadmissible. Karen Reed verdict tomorrow. I have absolutely no idea. How did Diddy get a jury at Podcast of the Bar? Melissa says Alan Jackson is a genius. If he ever gets arrested, he's my one call. We'll be prepared to have drinks with him. If you are called to jury duty, you have to disclose. Yes, you do have to disclose. They will flat out ask you. Remember, I read Charlie's jury selection, which was fascinating. And they will ask you, do you think this person is guilty? Yes or no? Can you set aside your opinion? No. Okay, bye. They are supposed to be registered voters. So that is the first poll. Licensed. Let's see, how do they do it now? Because the judge said something different. Registered records, driver's license lists, state income tax rolls, or other public record listings. But the judge implied it was the driver's license for Leon County first. He does not have a UTI, but thank you, JJ. He's already had his urine checked. Yeah, he had his urine checked first day. Like, that was done. And I don't see how the statistic thing, when I was like, you could pull so many other methods to find out how many people are actual over 18 jury polls that have watched WCTV. No, they're not watching WCTV. People over 60 are watching WCTV or watching WTXL, but WCTV is the prime local station here. They're not. 18 to 25, I bet they don't even watch any news at all. This is not happening. And I know from living Tallahassee, I have almost, if I mention Donna Adelson, let me tell you, let me look it up. He didn't ask me how much traffic you get. He didn't mention social media site engagement because he didn't want to. So it's living Tallahassee. If I put in Donna Adelson, and this is the group I started, 77,000 people. When she was arrested, She was arrested 40 people. There's Michelle. There's my new friend, Sarah. That's it. 40 people. Now, the group was a lot smaller then, but 40 people do not make a jury pool. Like, that's just not happening. That's it. It's the only time the woman was even mentioned that got any click. Let's see. It's Charlie. October, that was me. I posted that. For those, that was the day I met Miss Markel and went over to Tim Jansen's office and posted 11 comments, 20 people. Come on, dude. You're going to tell me that the jury pool is tainted over her? Here's the other one. Watch live. Michelle shared it. No surprise here. He got life. 4. That's it. There was nothing else. 4. There's no way. No way that is on there. There's no way. So I looked it up. I couldn't have listened to a Leslie say one word. I couldn't. Karen Reed, like, he was too much. What? 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 Hi, Wendy did it. You thought you were breaking news. I was on an STS Live on Friday. They did a poll asking how many viewers were registered in Leon County. We're almost 2.8 thousand watching, and of those who responded to the poll, I did the math, there was 51 viewers. Yeah, it's just not that much. I think Zellman's purpose is to have it for the record, blah, that's blah. And then the other thing is to put podcasters down. That's all. His whole goal in life is to put us down. And he does it all the time. He goes, there's some of those reporters that are typing behind us. I'm like, fuck you. There were 10 people in that room. 10 people in the viewing box. If this was such a big deal to have Donna Adelson's trial here in Leon County, why were there not people waiting to get in? There was no one waiting to get in. There were 3 citizens. Rebecca is one. 2 other ladies were on the other side. There was a young woman who follows the case who has worked. She worked on Dan Rashbaum's and she worked for Georgia. So she works in the courthouse. And then there was a victim advocate who came in and out. That's of the 10. That's it. Mentor lawyer was there, but he was in the media room. I was there. Chuchar was there. Alicia Devine, the photographer, Jeff Burlew, the guy from WCTV was there. That's it. That's all. But we're all like pounding the doors to get in. This isn't Richard Allen, dude. It's not. You got called for jury duty last year. Chris was called. I had to tell the doctor to get him off the jury, and he did. Well, thank you, Wesley. That was a really nice thing to say. Thank you. But that's it. There were only 10 people there. 3 were citizens. It was an afternoon. I mean, it was an early morning. It was 2.5 hours. And if there were going to be a problem and people were pounding to get into the courtroom, that was the one to go to because you were going to be able to stare at Donna for 2.5 hours. This is the first time that I saw citizens, other than my friend Rebecca, who's in the chat often, be there. And they said they follow YouTube, but they didn't tell me. They didn't introduce themselves to us, so I don't know who they were. They were very nice. They were cordial. I just don't know who they were. That's it. They spent a lot of money. They wasted a lot of her money. And if they think for 1 second that Harvey's not going to have to drive up here to this trial, they're wrong. Because that's this whole shebang. Is why of all the places in the state of Florida, Pensacola, Jacksonville, Bay County, which is Panama City, all of these places, Gainesville, you got to go to Miami so she can be among her peers? Is never happening. You got called for jury duty at Superstorm Sandy hit. That was a long time ago, wasn't it? Not so much for the sentencing. Just want to see her in person. What a trial. Oh, Wesley, really? She heard I have another necklace. Well, I have the necklace. Where'd I put it? I think I put it back in the box. I don't have another necklace for her. I don't have anything for her. Change of venue is a Hail Mary. That's putting it nicely. She knew it. She was sitting there. She wasn't even engaged. Not in my opinion. She wasn't engaged. I didn't think she was. I think she's a nut. I don't see anything else from that Vance guy I'm looking at. Oh my God. Hold on, look at this. A rider in Portland apparently had their eyes shot out. Oh, holy shuzno. I don't know what he's saying. I don't want to turn it on. Eyes are the one thing medically that I can't handle. I don't see anything on him. Hold on. Let me see if I can find his arrest. Nope. I don't know where I would love to know where you all saw that arrest, but I don't see it. I know, right? I can't do eyes. Cannot do eyes. She could easily have divorced him and lived well. I'm sure no one tells Wendy what to do. We all know that. I think Donna made her lawyers do it. She thinks the Miami crowd will give her a pass. She thinks she's OJ. Move the case down the state. Laughable on its face. Change of venue will be denied. You are 67 and have never been called to jury duty. What are you doing wrong? What are you doing right? Oh, I wish we had professional jurors, trained jurors. You haven't had jury duty in 40 years. I'll probably get called next week. I've been called 3 times, she says, never got to go. I was only called and got sat once. I've been called a bunch of times, but then they say, oh, you're Patty Wilson, so you can't call. I wish I was able to. There's no way anyone's having me on there. Usually when you tell them you're a nurse, you're out. Just go away. You're in Manatee County. Come on down, Donna. That's funny. You're 68 on Tuesday and have served once and called many times. Well, happy early birthday, Wesley, if I don't get to see you or hear you or read you. I'm going to go. It's 11:15. I got to go. Where'd you find the arrest video? Did you find the arrest video, Debbie? Oh, here it is. Hold on. Fox News captured. Hold on. I don't know if they'll let me have it because I'm not a member of their Fox News. Oh, wow. Look at him. He doesn't look sorry. He does not look sorry. How's his hair?
Budgeting and everything would be very difficult.
I don't even want to imagine having to onboard 50 people without using productive.
Unproductive. I would feel lost in space and time.
Doing honest.
God, I hate that. That they just all pop up. Why is his hair combed? That's the shirt he was wearing. Why is his hair combed? Indian River County, come on. You just scroll down. There's a local case to start in July 1. Doubt I will be called for jury duty. Sadly, it's an SA case. Well, you definitely don't want to then. Happy birthday, Wes. I'll notify the draft board. Oh, that's funny. He said, yeah, he told his roommate he was going to be not alive. But he was. He has pomade. Look at that hair. He looks nothing like the well, I guess he does. So bizarre. You know when the Muslims got you, it's a problem. God. He had the car. Yeah, he doesn't. He looks like he was in a car and not wanted for murder. Someone helped him. They had to have. Well, I'm glad they got him. Now if they could get that Decker dad, the guy who killed his 3 daughters, that would be fabulous. He's probably dead, but here's Donna's article. We're inflammatory, emotional, and pervasive. Wait, look at this. Inflammatory, emotional, and pervasive. Donna Adelson cites extensive media coverage and push for change of venue. Judge Everett says a written ruling will be issued once he reviews all the exhibits. The hearing lasted nearly 3 hours. The Adelson's team claims the extensive media coverage of the case, which now dates back nearly 11 years, makes it impossible for her to receive a fair trial here. And did you hear Georgia talk about the 3 cases that she said the trial that has become her life? Well, you could shorten that if you would arrest Wendy, Georgia. That's what I wanted to say. But I didn't say it because I sat like this. The media coverage in this case warrants a change of venue, defense attorneys say, wrote in their motion. Not only has the pretrial publicity been extensive, but it's also been highly inflammatory. So sad. Oh my God. And then they brought up Catherine in a confession. Lewis is the only one who confessed. And then they wanted to argue about, did the conspiracy continue? Of course the conspiracies continued. Well, we attest, Judge, that the conspiracy ended the day of the murder. How could you attest to that, Josh, unless you know who committed the murder and who all the parties were, Josh? That doesn't even make sense. If you're attesting, and that's your defense, that the conspiracy ended, and you know for a fact that this woman left and went to Charlie's house and dropped off a big bag of moldy money, then you know she was part of the conspiracy. You can't ride 2 sides of that donkey, Josh. Tainted by preconceptions, bias, and prejudice. Todd Murphy, but I honestly thought he was saying Trusco, like not Truscope, North America. It's a website described as AI-powered media intelligence, but the intelligence is limited to only articles and TV and radio. So it's useless because most of the media isn't articles, TV, or radio. And he put radio last, which just makes sense. But they can't, media monitoring and social media listening. But he can't talk about podcasts for this thing. There was no way for him to analyze it, which makes no sense. I mean, he said he'd have to have an API for each one and like carry it through. But isn't that what you're paid for? That's an old picture. Our position is that she can be given a fair trial here in Tallahassee, and that's based primarily on the fact that we've been able to successfully pick a jury in related cases 3 times, she says. She's confident they can find capable jurors. We have 40,000 people that have moved here in the last 2 years. And that's just the truth. I mean, that's a good number. So how are you telling me in those 40,000 people, you can't find 12 or 15 or 22? Dude. Good night. I'm listening, but can't keep my eyes open. Well, I'm leaving because I got to go. It is 11:30 and I got to go home. But I love you guys and thank you for being with me. I really appreciate it. You think he could get death penalty federally because of trafficking? I hope so. I hope so. Literal money. Well, have a great night. Thank you all. You have the best subscribers in the world. Thank you so much. And I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.